Rama Duwaji is a Syrian illustrator and animator based in Brooklyn, New York City. She became a political celebrity overnight when her husband, Zoran Mamdani, came from relative obscurity to secure the Democratic nomination before winning the election for New York City mayor. Rama's new role as New York City's First Lady makes her the youngest ever to hold this position and the first from Gen Z. Rama was born in Texas and moved to Dubai, UAE when she was 9 years old. She attended VCU Arts Qatar for a year before transferring to Richmond, where she graduated with a communication arts degree in 2019. Using drawn portraiture and movement, Rama's work offers a candid commentary on social injustice in the Middle East, with a particular focus on women's rights and accompanied by further examinations on the nuances of mental health, sisterhood, and community. Her work has been commissioned by The New Yorker, Vogue, BBC, Apple, and The Cut. On an episode of the Ahmad Show podcast in 2020, Rama discusses how she wanted to draw and be an artist for the rest of her life from the young age of 13. She's been making art since high school, but she only decided to pursue art and illustration as a career last minute in her last few months of high school while applying for university. During her third year at VCU, she made the switch to her now signature animated style of portraiture after her father, a computer engineer, told her to quote-unquote get with the times. She says, "Once I got introduced to digital art, I basically wanted to translate that visual language of ink on paper into a more accessible kind of form of art." She also spoke openly about her struggle to pinpoint her identity, describing how she felt unable to fully connect with being Syrian, American, or Emirati, and how this tension pushed her towards themes of body acceptance and embracing features that fall outside Eurocentric beauty standards. When asked how she hopes audiences interpret her work, Rama has said that she wants her illustrations to make people feel good, and not in a superficial sense, but by seeing themselves represented and accepted on a global scale. Rama also frequently discussed her commitment to the subject of mental health awareness and how she would like to make the conversation surrounding this topic more digestible for a younger audience through her work. In a 2018 interview with Mamul Press, Rama discusses her first ever graphic novel titled Razorburn. She says, "Razorburn was actually birthed in a semester-long project in an art class about mental health, physical health, and societal issues. I decided to make an accessible graphic novel for young teens of color about the pressures of Western beauty standards and the prevalence of mental health issues such as body dysmorphia, anxiety, and depression. The comic was based off the experiences of myself and many friends and family around me. It's a silent novel with no words, just images, hopefully making the book more accessible for people of different languages and socioeconomic and education levels." She continues, "It sounds cliche, but through the protagonist's struggles with her body, facial hair, foreign features, and her experiences in a white majority school, I wanted anyone reading it who might have felt bizarre and alone, struggling with body image or mental health, to realize that hundreds and thousands of women have gone through the exact same thing and came out thriving and confident despite it. When I started sharing some of my illustrations online, I had so many people approaching me, telling me that they'd experienced the same thing, which emphasized to me that taboo issues in the MENA region, such as mental health, needed to be talked about." So Rama's first big public moment as New York City's First Lady came about by way of The Cut, through a feature that offers us an intimate insight into her disposition as she steps into this new political facing role, while also prioritizing her identity as an artist, as well as her own personal values. The cover and editorial shoot were executed as an artistic ensemble, with this abundance of creative motifs and thought-provoking stylistic references that we're going to dive into in today's video. The shoot was photographed and artistically directed by Sylvester Mako and styled by The Cut's fashion director Jessica Willis. So in this editorial, we are served a nostalgic, retro, chic set of images with this non-conventional stylistic edge. We see an almost theatrical, surrealist artistic direction and the combination of stylistic choices that present a loose psychological gamble brought to life through the playful contortion of of Rama's body. While most people would consider the concept of getting inside of a box to be an act of constriction, this editorial communicates to us how the concept of getting inside of a box can also be an act of liberation. This visual polarity is a testament to Rama's creative ability to transfuse and to morph, all in an effort to explore the multiplicity of her evolving identities as an artist does, and eventually break out of this box that she's been put in. In this look in particular, we see Rama wearing ceramic hands, which is a nod to Rama's artistic practice as a ceramicist. We also see her styled in this jacquemus skirt and jacket, which were both on loan. We see how Rama's hands are placed gracefully on her lap, but the contrast of these ceramic hands that are almost monstrous in a sense are a nod to how Rama has been villainized in her new role as New York City First Lady. Much of that criticism coming by way of her youthfulness, being the youngest First Lady to hold this position. It's something that's very new, something that we haven't really seen before, and one characteristic of modern society is, well, maybe not just modern society, but I guess something that we've seen throughout the ages and throughout the decades is this hypercritical approach of anything that is inherently different to what we're used to, and this instinctive pushback towards change and towards difference and towards nuance. In this look, we see Rama wearing a Colleen Allen shirt and skirt, both of which were on loan, and also Jeremy Lee archive vintage shoes, also on loan. And we also see just next to Rama's head a feature of her own work. What I find so interesting about this editorial, it's how the concept of the editorial almost mirrors Rama's art. It's understated but very deliberate. In the interview, Rama shares an insight into her love for thrifting. She thrifts across Queens, the Bronx, New Jersey, and she gravitates toward New York-based brands, indie designers, and vintage finds. She wears Diotima, Zaid Hijazi, Peter Doe, Colleen Allen, which is a testament to her dedication to supporting local independence and sustainable fashion. Another one of my favorite looks from the cut editorial is this look in particular, where Rama is wearing a dress from the Marc Jacobs Spring/Summer 2025 collection and a pair of black leather witch pumps by Balenciaga, all on loan. It's that combination of the almost provocative, pointy, sharp heel with the playful, surrealist silhouette of the Marc Jacobs dress that brings this look to life. For the midnight swearing in of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, Rama wore a vintage Balenciaga coat from Albright Fashion Library and archival earrings from New York Vintage. She also wore a pair of black shorts from the Frankie shop and a pair of boots from Mista, all of which were on loan. In a Substack article by high-profile stylist and editor Gabriella Carifa Johnson, who was tasked with styling the First Lady for the event, she says, "The parameters were far more flexible and favorable than most stylists could hope for. One, the First Lady is 28 years old and plays by her own rules. And two, she has a taste and sense of style that predates this inauguration, and she plans to preserve both." For this look in particular, Rama chose a design by Palestinian Lebanese designer Cynthia Merhej of Renaissance. The coat is an adaptation of one of Merhej's favorite looks from the Fall/Winter 2023 collection, reworked with the First Lady's own twist. Merhej also shared her insights on the styling of the First Lady. She said, "It encapsulates her perfectly, elegant yet whimsical. It was made in Lebanon by Lebanese women, my mother, our seamstress Nana, the pattern maker Suad, and my cousins Christy and Jess, who brought the pieces to New York with them, a testament to the superhuman strength of women and our community." Cynthia continues, "I admire and respect Rama's conviction for choosing this moment to raise up her community. The fact that she's choosing to wear designers from the region is humanizing us, and it shows the incredible culture and creativity that we have here. It brings a lot of hope that things can and are changing in a broader sense. I was surprised that she knew about the brand, but when I saw her universe, it made total sense that we are aligned. And the fact that she chose to wear us when she could have worn any other big name right now says so much about who she is and what she stands for." Let's talk about the chic effect. Fashion and art for Rama are a language. The consistency of her philosophy stays true, not only through her work as an artist, but through her stylistic communication as the First Lady. What makes Rama Duwaji chic is the refusal to perform. This is a foundational characteristic of chic, something that we spoke about at length and in detail in a previous video called The 4 Stages of Chic. And I think what's so compelling for me and for a lot of other people, it's about how Rama treats her newfound visibility as a medium, a kind of revolutionary statement of how an artist can exist in politics without losing selfhood. And when we take a closer look at the characteristics of some of the most compelling artists out there, it's the ability or the traits or the skill of being able to morph into their own creation for the pure sake of communication at times. One thing that I will say here in hopes of protecting and preserving this open discourse of arts and politics is that we don't necessarily need to go into the specifics of American political policy in order to take a step back and observe the rather tumultuous political period that we're in right now. And what I, and I'm sure many others, find compelling about Rama and her style and this element of chic that she possesses is her ability to treat this new visibility as a medium, a revolutionary statement of how an artist can exist in politics without losing selfhood. Rama speaks intimately about how friendships and platonic love keeps her grounded, and she very regularly shares how she will remain absolutely focused on her work. She embodies a new kind of modern artist, one who understands that art, fashion, and politics don't have to exist in separate rooms.